What's going on, everybody? It's Patrick here. So in this video, we are going to be covering how you can use artificial intelligence to create art for any type of project, whether it's a Web3 project, NFT project, or something completely unrelated to Web3. We're going to go through examples of some projects that have already used AI art for their NFT projects, and we're also specifically going over some live examples using Midjourney so you know how this goes and you can apply it to your project. The first thing we are going to cover are NFT projects that have openly used artificial intelligence art, whether it's Midjourney or another platform to generate their PFPs, essentially, right? Picture profiles. Now, I'm not saying these projects are particularly good. I'm not saying they're legit. I'm not promoting them in any way. They're just examples that me and my team found to just give you an idea of what's going on in the space. So the first one is like Project Shinobis. As you can see, it's like a PFP project. They don't all follow the same art guidelines, but they all kind of face in that left direction. Yeah, so it's kind of like a fun project. And I guess if you're the creator of this, maybe you're trying to make money on the royalties, which is not too bad, especially if it's kind of cheap to make this kind of art. And it's not bad, actually. And we're gonna go like full on anime for this one. This one's called Makimono Origins, which is another one that I remember it was pumping like quite a bit. So a lot of people are like spending money on this, and then like they're selling it, and it's just like a game of trying to make money. But you know, you kind of see like the art is not bad. And again, it's all artificial intelligence. This one is Dory Samurai. This has a 0.2 ETH floor. So that's quite interesting. You know, I'm not going to go too deep into if there's utility or anything like that. But again, artificial intelligence created this. And the last one we're going to cover is On-Chain, another AI generated art. These ones are 0.5, right? So I guess there is somewhat of a demand for this, even going into the activity. I guess people are buying it apparently, right? Artificial intelligence is going to be what I believe one of the main tools that people will use for creative, right? You no longer have to necessarily be an artist. You don't necessarily have to be a good writer because there's artificial intelligence for that. Basically, almost every creative skill that you can think of, whether it's music, art, written word, can be done with artificial intelligence, and it's only getting better and better at an exponential rate. So if you are a project founder or if you're someone that creates art, you're going to be able to create this art very easily just by putting in different inputs and knowing how to use the software versus having to, you know, be an art director or finding an artist and putting it all together, because, you know, eventually artificial intelligence will be so good that it will be almost indistinguishable from whether a human did it or an artificial intelligence robot did it, right? So let's go ahead and give you some examples of how you can do this for yourself using Midjourney. Now for Midjourney, all you really have to do is join their Discord, type in the commands on Discord, and let's go through some live examples. So all you got to do when you're in Discord is you type /imagine and then imagine prompt, and then you just put in whatever you want to do, right? So I'm going to put in anime girl, NFT, PFP, blonde, cute, sword, kimono. Okay. So after I put that in, what's going to happen is that it's going to feed it to the AI, and I'm going to get some type of result back. So as you can see here, right now it's at 31%. It's still generating, it's still putting the pieces together. And then now we have the 100% version. So as you can see, by just typing in those command prompts that I put, anime girl, NFT, PFP, blonde, cute, and this is what we're going to get, right? The art is actually not that bad. And again, it's pulling from different places and mixing them up to create something new, but that's pretty much it. And when you use these buttons over here, you know, the U1 to U2, U3, that's just upscaling it, so getting a higher quality version. And then when you press V1, V2, V3, you're basically going to get variations of the one that you picked. So for example, if I like this one on the bottom right, that's going to be number 4. So I'm going to press this button, and it's going to give me more variations of number 4, right? So basically you want to tell the algorithm, hey, I like this thing, please give me more. And then from there, it'll give you another 4. And then you can pick, okay, I like this one out of the 4, please give me more of that. So, you know, you can kind of train the AI in a sense to give it preferences of what you like, and it will do more of what you like and less of what you don't like until you find something that's suitable for your needs. So after pressing 4, it gave me, you know, a couple more options. And as you can see, it's kind of similar to that style, but then it's giving me more variations. And again, you can just keep playing around with this until you find something that you like. And this is just one simple use case, and there's a lot of advanced things you can do to get more specific on making it more PFP-like, but I just want to give you the introduction. But you can see how powerful this is, because if you know what inputs to feed an AI intelligence, it can give you something good. So I think in the future, what's going to happen is the people who will create the best AI art are going to be the ones that really understand how the technology works and give it the right inputs and have the right settings in order for the AI to create something unique and special. So it's more about the inputs, not necessarily the craftsmanship of actually creating the art. So I'm going to give you another example of, let's say, using pixel art, right? So I'm going to do it again, imagine, and then let's say I want to create something like meme land, right? So I'm going to put a human like potato wearing a hoodie with a sword in hand. So I'm basically just trying to create a version of meme land potatoes, right? The NFT project by Meme Land. And so after that, we gotta wait a little bit as this thing loads. Right now it's at 0% and we have to get it to 100%. All you have to do is wait, around 30 to 60 seconds before you're there. So now it's done. So as you can see here, it's gonna be a pixel art PFP human-like potato. So it's a potato holding a sword. So I'm gonna be like, all right, the one I like the most is the one on the top left, which is the first one. So let's press V1 and then let's see if it can give us more variations of that particular drawing. And here we go. It gave us a little bit more different variations of those potatoes. And again, I can keep playing around with this, change the different inputs to make it something more closer to what I want. But that's an example of Midjourney creating pixel art. And you can kind of imagine that if you have all the right settings, you can definitely create a whole collection of like 1,000 different NFTs. Just switch out the color of the clothes, the weapons, the eyes, the faces, and then you can have a really pretty interesting collection, right? If you think about Milan potatoes, I think Milan potatoes, it's good because it has like creativity juice to it. But when it comes to the actual skill of like putting pixel art together, it's not that far apart, right? So if you are someone who is putting in the inputs, the quality of your work, it's basically dependent on your creativity to create something fresh and new for the market, not necessarily your ability to draw pixels on a screen. But how about doing something a little bit more realistic, right? So if I use Imagine and I use another prompt and I'm going to put in anime, Goku, Samurai, Knight, Aura, Unreal Engine 5. So I'm trying to get something that's more 3D looking, more realistic, not a 2D drawing, right? And so let's see what Midjourney is able to do. All right, so now it looks like it's complete. And when I'm looking at this art, it's actually not too bad. I actually prefer the first one and the last one. I mean, this last one looks a lot better than a lot of 3D cash grabs that I've seen in the Web3 space. So definitely not bad. Let's see if I get some variations of this fourth one to see what that is going to look like. All right, and so now we have some variations of the one I liked, and now we have a couple more different ones. Now these are more similar to each other, and I can kind of take my pick on what I want, right? Of course, you can probably change things like the clothes it's wearing, maybe the color of the lighting, the armor, the hair, a lot of different variations you can change with the inputs, but that's just how powerful these tools are, where you can literally just put in a couple words and it will create something original. It's not necessarily original because it's remixing a lot of different things together. And of course, there's probably some copyright issues right now when it comes to using AI art. However, this is actually pretty powerful for anyone using it, right? Okay, so the last one we're going to try is creating art for a website landing page, right? So not just individual art by itself, but art that will be placed on an actual website where maybe we will be using it to sell something, right? Hypothetically, right? So this is just an example. And so what I'm doing is putting in the prompt anime girl cyberpunk splash art website landing page design, website design. Okay, let's go and see how this looks. Okay, so now it has loaded. So these are going to be the examples that it has given me for that. As you can see over here, it's actually not bad. I wouldn't say it's particularly good. I probably have to change the inputs a little bit to make it look right, but it's not bad for a first try, just entering a couple keywords, right? And so you can see, I think in the future, we'll just say, hey, I want a landing page that looks like this website with these characters. And you could probably put more different advanced inputs to make something really good right out of the box, right? And it probably will take you a couple iterations, but I can see in the future as this technology gets better, it's like, why would you even need to hire a website designer when, artificial intelligence can do it for you? Why would you need to hire someone to do splash art, for example, right? Which is just like art as like used as teasers and stuff like that, when AI can do it for you, right? So we're not quite there in terms of, the quality being at par of like, let's say hiring a creative director and an artist and everything like that, but it's affordable, it's not expensive. And as the technology gets better, I feel like it's probably going to be a more viable option for many people who are definitely on a budget when they're creating projects, right? Now, when we're looking at the pricing for something like Midjourney, and I'm not sponsored by them or anything, I just want to share this with you. Basic plans, $8 a month. Standard $24, pro plan $48 a month. So it's actually pretty cheap, right? Each different price point has different, like how many things can you generate and stuff like that. But for the most part, if it's like $50 a month, it's really not that expensive to create infinite art. So it's quite an interesting opportunity for anybody who creates any type of art, because now more than ever, it's much more easier to put things together. If you can't find an artist, then you can definitely learn how to use these technologies, learn how to put the inputs in and create something truly unique. And I feel like the ones that really master this AI and master how to use those inputs to create something that other people don't know how to do, they're going to make quite a bit of money because they're going to create so many unique things that other people cannot. And I think the secret to this is the inputs, right? Knowing how to do the inputs, and I'm sure people who are really good aren't going to share some of the inputs that they put in to create something unique, and everyone will have to guess to try to figure out how they're able to do that. With that said, that is pretty much everything we have to cover when it comes to using Midjourney. If you enjoyed it, make sure to give this video a like, subscribe, turn on notifications, and I will see you in the next one.